So tell me about the series.
Moon Girl and Devil Dinosaur is a series about 13-year-old Lunella Lafayette, who is the first ever African-American black teen girl superhero, and we are so excited. It's about her adventures in the Lower East Side with her best friends Devil Dinosaur and Casey, and this here's her amazing grandpa, Pops.
Yeah, Pops, yeah. So Pops used to own he still owns this roller rink that he got back in the 70s at a time when it was, if black guys wanted to go roller skating, it was like on Soul Night. That's when the black people went. So he decided he was going to build a rink that was so inclusive of everyone, including the entire community. So he built that rink, and he still has it there right now for the community. He could sell out. It's the Lower East Side of New York, so he could sell out for millions of dollars, but instead he keeps it there for the community. Also, I have to brag that Lunella, Moon Girl, she gets her roller skating skills from Pops because he is a master roller skater, much like I am.
It's like Gary here is as well. You should see his moves.
They hired me strictly because of my roller skating skills.
Method acting only.
Yeah. And I will only record with roller skates on.
Yeah.
Why did you choose? Why did you choose New York and the Lower East Side for the
Well, we chose New York because a lot of the people who developed the show are from New York. Steve Loader from New York and Rodney Cloudner from New York, and so also the comic book had her featured in the Lower East Side, so it just was a perfect organic way to kind of bring the two together. It was only natural. Yeah.
You haven't read the comic yet? You know what? Before you get to air this, you gotta go read that comic.
You gotta go back.
We will find out if you hadn't read the comic.
Okay.
Okay.
I am a fan of the comic, and I love that you have changed the setting somewhat, putting her like in this multi-generational household, a family of entrepreneurs. And I was thinking and it's even more upbeat than the original comic. Can you talk a little bit about creating this kind of more joyful vibe for Lunella and her family?
Yes, when I created, oh wait a minute, I'm just a voice, never mind.
Yeah, actually, I'm so glad you pointed that out because to us it was so important to show a little black girl in a joyful family, and a lot of our creators and cast too come from multi-generational families, and we felt it was more authentic, but also, like you said, just a better way to kind of show her and her growing up in this family that really loved her. Because in the comic book she's kind of a loner, and she doesn't have that support system, and it was important for us at this time, for kids to have that and see their own really beautiful families reflected on screen.
Yeah, I grew up with my cousins. Basically, my cousins were my brothers. My grandmother was always there. So I grew up in exactly that kind of atmosphere where there was just support from everyone and also constant jokes coming from everybody to everyone else. And that really feels like this place, right? That they built in here. So I feel so at home like when I'm doing voiceover for this character, because it really is how I grew up, with that whole unit there helping each other out.
Are you all recording at one time, like together, or is it done in?
The only episode, I can't speak for everyone else, and I refuse to. Fred Telshore wants me to speak to him, but I will, for him, I will. I refuse. There's a lot of refusals written in my contract.
He's a diva.
I am. Y'all need to turn all these cameras off now. So the only episode I recorded, I think, with Diamond was the very first episode, which was the very first job once COVID broke out. So we recorded from different places, but we recorded together. Other than that, now and then I'll get to hear another character's voice so I can go with the flow of what's going on. Other than that, it's separate, which is crazy magic once you see how it's put together, because it really does feel like, we were there playing off of each other. And really all you can do is depend on the words that they've written to play off. And now we're getting to see some of the animation. Like most of the episodes we record without ever seeing, other than a drawing of the characters. So now that you get to see the animation, you get to get into it even more of, oh wow, now I see how Pops is even moving more. Like everything that they're doing dictates a little bit more fun for me to have every time we record.
So I'm a father of a 13-year-old girl, and she is she loves that she's represented. Like this little girl, looks like her, and her brilliance also. Because I mean, that's the thing. Her
She's the
intellect.
smartest 13-year-old girl. She's one of the
Smartest-
smartest people in the
she's
Marvel
like Tony
universe.
Stark, Reed Richards, her.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely.
talk to how they bring that aspect of her and that representation of that black girl magic. How you bring that to
Yeah.
the show.
But
Yeah,
you can
you want me to
start.
take it?
Yeah, you jump on that, and I have something that.
Well, yeah, it was so important to us. First of all, we love that from the comics, she was already one of the smartest girls in the Marvel Universe. But just the fact that you have this little girl, and it's not just a little black girl superhero, she's got all these layers. She is super smart, she loves science, she looks great while doing it, she can roller skate. We just love that this was a character that had all these different dimensions to her. And then taking that from the comic, we also apply that to the world and all the characters around her. That's why you've got Pops is this amazing roller skater, and her mom was a DJ, and just taking not only the diversity of the world, but making it truly authentic to that everybody is so different. They're not just one thing. So we're super proud of that.
Yeah.
And we actually also brought on board a really diverse crew. So I'm so proud that our crew is 84% diverse themselves. So they really reflect themselves on screen, and I think you can really feel that kind of that authenticity throughout.
I do not have a 13-year-old daughter, so I can be your kid's father. She needs an extra father. I'm fine with that. I love kids. I love kids.
Babysit.
I do have a I'll babysit.
I got a slow cooker with some ribs.
Dude, I love slow cookers and the fast cookers too. I love cookers. I have a 19-year-old son right now who he's at college right now, but he is also like a very smart kid. So to have that black kid represented with brains, not just the black kid who's out, hey, I can ball, or not just that black kid who can do all these other things, but to have that part of it represented, that definitely speaks to
And
me.
celebrate.
And celebrate it, raising that kind of child. Like, he's no moon girl, but you know what I mean? Like, he's not what you would expect when you see his big, huge 1970s afro. You do not expect the brain coming out of that
I
child.
got my
And so that's
15-year-old
so
running around making me broke right now.
exactly.
On the floor. Yeah, I get it.
We got to learn how to raise these kids to be cheap, though. That's what we got to do. Yeah. So that definitely being able to play off of that smart, whatever kind of kid it is, but in this situation specifically, black kid is fantastic.
Well, and to add to that, I do have two little girls, one who's 13, and I'm a Latina, so to me, to have Casey there as well, who is also smart, but a different kind of smart, so to be able to represent her as this like media maven lady boss, that's not something we typically see ourselves seen as. So for my little girls to see that, they're like, oh my God, she's smart, she's cool, she's all the things.
I need you to start calling yourself a media maven lady boss. I think you just need, you need to get it on a t-shirt.
I think she just did.
my
Or a
business
tattoo.
card.
Yeah.
I did just that.
Yeah, all right.
And I will do
You've
something
been
now.
branded. Okay, I'm not gonna fight
Fred's
you,
got
lady
his
boss.
like T-Rex thing.
Yeah,
I'm like,
you're lady boss.
I'm looking for my
media
thing.
maven lady boss.
And I'd be remiss if I didn't have you sign this for my
Oh,
daughter.
oh
And you're
yeah.
on camera, no pressure. Her name is Johanna.
How do you spell Johanna?
Johnna.
Johnnna. Wait,
Oh, and
Joh.
Johnnna.
No A after the H.
yeah, I'll say.
John. But I thought you said Johanna. That reads as Jonna to me. So am I wrong? You know what? We'll fight about this later.
Can you talk a little bit about what it was like to see yourself animated for the first time and how you landed on this specific animation style, which is incredible?
I can talk about me as a character. Like, I don't think a lot of times people will play off of like your body size and stuff like that, and like in other cartoons that I've done. When I got to see what Pops was like, he's like long and lanky and leggy and just absolutely silky smooth. So that was so cool because that definitely lets me know like everything in him physically I get to play with in his voice. That whole, like, he is without flaw when he's roller skating. So I really get to play with that. And the more, like I said, the more animation I see, like the way they go with him, like him doing these crazy spins and stuff, then that lets me know exactly that there are no limits to how smooth and cool that I can make this guy now. Yeah.
You know what? One of the best moments was for me was, I mean, we'd been living with the animation and seeing him come in every week, but we got to share it with Lawrence Fishburne for the first time, and we shared screens. and watching him turn into a little kid in front of us, he was literally like, oh my God, it's so cute, was one of the best moments of my life. We're like, thank you, Lawrence. If you're happy, we're happy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, can't wait for more to see.
Well, it's a gorgeous thing.
And for you.
Thank you.
Of course.
Love the show.
Yes.
Thank you.
Did you all get to see the opening? Oh, good. What did you like about it? I mean, nobody's seen it, so we're like dying for any thoughts or
Stylistically, it's
feedback.
unlike any other like Disney show you're doing right now.
Yes.
And then, you know, Moon Girl Magic, like it
And I
feels
do,
inspiring.
I do love the addition of Casey and the idea that she's a character, like she is so confident, hyper capable, and
Yes.
also lonely. She's
Yes.
lonely, and like seeing these two girls find each other and support each other in this way is just so beautiful.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. You know, the other thing that was really important to us is that we're actually mostly women on the crew and mostly people of color, and the writer's room is all female right now, and it was so important to us for us to see those characters not fight but actually support each other and elevate each other and constantly, you know, just be there for one another. It's something you don't usually see in animation, and usually you know, the relationships aren't, you know, that strong or that beautiful. So that's something we really try to infuse throughout the entire series.
And
I'm
the
so proud of it.
soundtrack is great. We're rocking.
Oh,
Oh
the
my
music.
God, Rahul Sadiq is the bomb. He's incredible. I mean, just the fact that we got him to begin with, and then that he does every song. Well, he does at least a song per episode, and does all the score. It just elevated the entire show
brings
to
it all
another level.
together.
And I mean, everything gets elevated along the way. But then once he drops his music in, it's unlike anything you've ever seen in animation before. It's so sophisticated, beautiful. He does any style, and it's funny because we'll launch him on an idea and we'll get something completely different.
Wow.
And of course, it's perfect.
Yeah.
Like, we're like, that's exactly
Great.
what it should be. So yeah, it's been amazing working with him.
Thank you so much.
Thank you guys.
so much. So nice to meet you.
Thanks again. Great show.
Much appreciated.
I like
Thank you.
it.
Thank you. Good luck with your daughter. I hope she's not
So
breaking your
excited for
bank.
her to see it.
She'll love it. Can you pass that?
I'm great.
Yeah, thank you. No worries. I don't want to dry out. It's not even mine.
Like, where did you find it?
Oh, I just asked her.